Put that shit back on. I'm out of crank.
Put that shit back on.
You said what? I already had the hook for it. Remember that shit? What was it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, he had that shit on already?
What was the hook? I thought of. Didn't I think of a hook for this?
You know, but you know what I didn't do?
That shit ain't catch, cuz. You gotta keep thinking of it. Chill down. She knows.
That's 125. It ain't 120. 125.
Chill down. She knows. Alright, think of something else then.
Alright, shit.
Put that shit back on. I'm out of crank.
Put that shit back on.
You said what? All right. Thank y'all for joining. If you're going to join, thank you for watching. If you're going to watch, everybody who's listening, I appreciate you. Just for even clicking on the thumbnail, clicking on the picture, clicking on the live stream. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for subscribing. If you were a subscriber, appreciate you for that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into nothing controversial. When I say nothing controversial, I mean not anything controversial. And that is why we have 0 people watching. Well, because everybody loves controversy. You know what I'm saying? You want to have your ideas challenged. You want to have it where you're not just in an echo chamber saying the same things to the same people, same way, no difference in anything or no nuance to any of these conversations. Nah, we got to have some controversy. And that's the best part of these YouTube spaces is you saying something that you may be thinking, but I may be thinking it too. Or you saying something that goes against everything that I'm thinking. And then I got to be like, okay, wait a minute. I got to check you on that. I got to say something about that. I can't just let you rock like that. I can't just be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to let you have it if I really feel strongly about it. You know what I'm saying? The reason that controversy comes up more than likely is because it's something that goes against everything that I'm thinking. Like if you could tell me, hey, you know what, what's something controversial? I don't know. Give me something controversial, anybody. Now, you know what? Let me think of something. If I say, for instance, right, that, we've never been to the moon, or, all of the evidence that we have that says that we've done certain things, like the discovery of, just electricity, period, was something from aliens or something controversial. We have to understand that in order to disprove, in order to make sense or light of things, we got to make it so that people realize, okay, the way I think, the way I'm thinking, where I'm coming from, or how I can get you to feel that same, if I can even persuade you to feel that same way, if it's possible. More than likely it's not. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's controversial is controversial for a reason. There's more than likely no way to prove it. Say for instance, if you have alien footage and you say, I got this footage of aliens, and somebody will say, oh, well, that's Photoshop. Oh, well, that's green room. That's, it's a chopped up video. You can disprove that. Or can you? You can't just go up in the air and have, closer footage. You only have what footage you have. Same thing for if you want to say the existence of deity or creator, creationism story. No way you can prove, how we were all created or where we go when we die. So how that controversy comes in. So when I say nothing controversial, I mean if it were something that we could all agree on, what would it be? And that's what I'm curious about finding out. You know what I'm saying? What do you think is something that everybody in the world can agree on? Because even certain things that you would think nobody can disagree with you, somebody will find a way or somehow will find a way to disagree. Say, for instance, right? NERD. nobody ever really dies. And if we look in science and we realize that energy never dissipates, it is only transferred, then we would think, okay, maybe that could be true. That, everybody should be able to agree. Or if you look at any teachings of an afterlife, even in the afterlife, that's not really death, is it? I mean, your spirit is living on. So can we agree that nobody ever really dies, or is that something that is controversial? You feel like, oh, when your flesh, your physical is, no longer animate, that means that your life force or your soul, if you will no longer exist? Or is it reincarnation? Who knows? So when I say nothing controversial, I'm hoping that everybody in the mother can and will understand that I don't mean nothing controversial. Everything can be controversial. So what y'all think of that? Like, share, subscribe. Appreciate y'all for joining this chat. It's gonna be a quick one because I don't have too many people popping on. So if I do ever get viewers, we could have more of a conversation. For now, I'm gonna just let the stream play for a second. I got the link in the chat. Link I'm gonna have pinned up top, and you can definitely donate if you'd like. Let me put the banner up real quick. You know what I'm saying? Check me out. IG. You can also hit up the Cash App if you're feeling generous. You know what I'm saying? HOPE is going to be an acronym for helping our people emerge. I'm saying hope is irrational. I realize that certain people, you can't give somebody hope. That's something that they have to get on their own. And me being hopeful, me being optimistic of the future, I do think that we could, take these conversations forward. That these conversations can have a life of their own. These conversations can have a life of their own. If you allow them to. Trying to get the videos. If I can. Okay, it has to be MP4 format. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna have to come back and try that again with the video clips. So it's gotta be MP4 for the video clips. How about this music? Probably certain. Alright, cool. So I'm gonna try and upgrade the quality, make sure it's better for y'all. If y'all do pop in next time, it's gonna hopefully look better and better and better. And as time progresses, as I move forward with these streams, conversations can get deeper because it'll be more people who will join because of the better quality, and all that in turn will have its own effects. But for right now, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all for joining, for checking me out. I'm going to let it rock for 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to just cut it if nobody wants to have a conversation. I know my favorite controversial topic is going to be colorism. How, as people of color, we are viewed as second-class citizens to some, but in all actuality, are indigenous to this planet. There's a theory that albinism is going to be a recessive characteristic, a recessive gene that could be passed down, and in what you call, like, how you get dogs with little short legs over time. Is something that has happened where people who only want that recessive will only breed with their own inbreeding and things like that, meaning that Caucasians would be inbred mainly. And there are some evidence findings of this. If you look in science, they'll say a lot of Caucasian or white people will have 2% or up to 2% Neanderthal, suggesting that at some point the Homo erectus, the Neanderthal were mating, which would kind of make sense. If you were in a cave, you were cut off from those who have evolved to use tools, or those who have evolved to, do things a different way. Then you would, join, assimilate, or, up to a certain point or a certain degree. And then if you look at, just recent history, you'll see that Black being used as a label to describe people who don't necessarily have their lineage, their history, or their ancestry mapped out. You'll have parents who will tell you, "Oh, you Black," and then their parents, all they know is they're Black, and it's like the same names being passed down that don't have anything to do with your original ancestry. It's the same way. It's like it gets whitewashed, so to speak, and to the point where you no longer would recognize your own names because they have been taken for so long. But that's my favorite controversial topic. You know what I'm saying? The colorism, the N-word, being as though if you are a person of color, then you saying the N-word is okay, but others is not. And some people will say that is not fair. That's controversial because this should be something that everybody can say if it's deemed ignorant people or people who don't want to know. Taking it back to the whole Black thing, not wanting to know your history or ancestry is what makes you a nigga, versus somebody who is just using that word even though they know, oh, actually I'm Nigerian, or actually my people from Ghana, or actually my people are from Haiti, or actually my people are from, wherever you would necessarily have a nationality would be your heritage, versus saying, oh, I'm Black or I'm a nigga, and that is saying nothing. That is not pointing to any origin or any nationality. That is mainly pointing to a color. And if everybody is understanding of color, we know that color needs sight. But we as people don't need to have sight to see us. If you think of it in terms of color being abstract, then you think, okay, how do you explain color to someone without sight or to a blind person? Is more than likely going to be different answers depending on who you ask, versus how would you distinguish a Nigerian from a Jamaican. More than likely you're going to say, okay, it's the dialect, it's the customs, it's the language, those things that you can necessarily say, okay, these things make a difference in culture, versus someone who does not have that knowledge of their culture and are only assimilating what they see, or only, reacting only to be put in these labels and categories as someone who is reactive. And so I think that is the grand design, the system, as they call it. That's another controversial topic, because some people feel as though there's no such thing, that this system is not existed, that is something that's in our mind, when in all actuality, we all are a part of it. We only see each other's faces, not the people who holding the strings, not the people who are controlling the whole shit. You know what I mean? I don't know the owner of StreamYard. I don't know the owner of YouTube. But I know that they are allowing this platform, they are allowing these words to be said in order to generate more income for themselves. In the grand scheme, is not necessarily going to be any benefit to myself. I mean, unless someone were to directly pay me, you know what I'm saying? And unlike their payment, which is going to be from the using of the platform or the interface or the using of, their applications. So I know that for me, I'm just the ant, and I can try and make way. I could try and, what they call the butterfly effect, whereas though if a butterfly flaps its wings, it can cause a wave or a ripple that may all in turn cause a tsunami. Who knows? But I know that if I am silent about a lot of these things, because I will go on different platforms and I will hear the conversations and how they are ran, and a lot of the same kind of circling around misinformation, or circling around topic and not giving any type of nuance to the discussion, only saying, oh, you know, if you a baby mama, you should have chose better, or you a baby daddy, you need to take care of your kid and this and that, and kind of negating the fact that there are other factors that could be involved. There's other things that could be in play and you are not privy to. And you do realize how the dynamics of just being a person work, being a human being. You know that it's not just all cookie cutter. It's not everything is one size fits all. Even the one size fits all shit might not fit. So yeah, so I'm kind of I'm kind of like, I'm on the fence about certain things. Okay, so one thing I'm on the fence about, 50-50, right? On the one hand, you got those guys who feel like, what, I'm going to pay everything, pay the whole bill, and that's how you get, submission. That's how you get your woman to be feminine and submissive, is because she don't got to worry about nothing but what you want her to worry about, type shit. And then you got, those who feel like even if you pay for everything, you can't control that woman, bro. Like, you paying for everything just makes you a trick. And I'm on the fence about that, only because both sides could be true. Same thing with 50-50. You might be one of them people who says, you know what, if I'm gonna have, only half of this that I could use anyway, why wouldn't I have the other person pay their half? And it's not to say that that's not something wrong with it. Is, everybody has to pay their fair share, but it's doing what you call fair. And if you can get somebody else to pay yours for you. And so that's where we at, with a lot of women are able to get men to pay their half, to pay, all of what they need. And so if they are able to do such things, then why would they go to a place where they would have to put up anything? If I know that I can go to work and get paid for not doing anything, what will be the incentive for working? What will be the incentive for doing more work then? If it's the same results, if I'm getting the same results. And that's the whole issue, I think, with these conversations about men and women, is if you are going to have somebody who you would want to be with forever, what are you willing to put up with? What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to, what won't you give up? What won't you put up with? You know what I'm saying? What are your deal breakers? Pet peeves, all that. And you kind of got to understand each other's in order for it to move smoothly. But it's been very real. Pretty much tried. This was I guess not too bad of a stream. Only somebody would have came up, but I'm not mad at that. I know how it is. You know what I'm saying?